Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. On this occasion or in this opportunity, I think, yeah, I want to show you about the theory of chemical equilibrium. Before that, it would be nice if I introduce myself first, I think. Yeah, of course, I introduce myself first. Introduce, my name is Anince, usually called Aka, with NIM 45 24 22 045 from Geology Engineering Program Study, ITK Department State University of Gorontalo. So let's start our presentation about the theory of chemical equilibrium. Before that, I think we have a many question when we hear about the chemical equilibrium, right? Yeah, I think yes, of course. Anyway, the example question is what is or what the meaning of chemical equilibrium, and then what is an example of chemical equilibrium. After that, for example, again, why and for what we study of chemical equilibrium. I think the question is the famous to we ask for our teacher or our anything else we want to ask. So if you want to get the question, no question, but if you want to get the answer of the question, let's watch this video until finished. I believe that you got the something new about the chemical equilibrium from this video, I think. Let's watch this video, okay? Please, I have one asking is please like this video because your like is important for me.
Later.
So, theory of chemical equilibrium. Before that, I guess after we hear about the word chemical equilibrium, we can guess or we can surely guess that this equilibrium about something that must be balanced, right? Yeah, of course. Chemical equilibrium about balance, and then the meaning of balance is like we have two things, and then one and two must be the same line, not up and down, but in the same line, and then it can be we can call that balance. Well, the questioning is what is definition or what is meaning of theory of chemical equilibrium, right? And then, well, for the chemical equilibrium itself is reversible reactions or alternating reactions between reaction and product, and generally occur in sealed containers. And usually the reaction is in the one box we call containers. Not one box, but in the one place. They shape like containers. Okay, after we know about the definition of chemical equilibrium, again and again we have a question. Whatever they indicate the reaction is a chemical reaction, right? I know we have a question like what is the indicate like what symbol or something else if we want to know that the reaction is chemical equilibrium. I have a three way two easiest to know the reaction is reversible reaction or chemical equilibrium, right? I have a three. Number one is an reversible reaction. We can see we can see two way around. They indicate the reaction is a chemical equilibrium. Characteristic of number two, if we want to know the reaction is a chemical equilibrium, is the concentration of reactants and product are not changed. It means like the concentration or substance in the mixer does not change. The concentration is the same when the reaction occurs. Okay, next we want to know more about the type of chemical equilibrium. Well, chemical equilibrium have two types. Number one is static equilibrium and number two is dynamic equilibrium. The first of the type of chemical equilibrium is static equilibrium. Static equilibrium occurs when chemical reactions are product which is are a one-way chemical reaction or a chemical reaction that never reverses, that never repeat again. That as we know that characteristic of chemical equilibrium is reversible, right? Go back and forth, but in static reaction or in static equilibrium, just one way, and then the symbol is one, just one arrow, not two. For the example of static equilibrium is like this, is NaOH plus HCl. The product is NaCl plus H2O. The type of chemical equilibrium number two is dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium results when chemical reactions are two-way chemical reactions or a chemical reaction that can be reversed again to be the reactant and then to be the product again and then back again to be the reactant. And then the way to the symbol is the like the characteristic of chemical equilibrium, right? The same symbol. She has dynamic equilibrium have a symbol like a row of two arrow, one go and back again. For example, an dynamic equilibrium is 2SO2 plus O2 and then the product is 2SO3. Next, we want to know more about dynamic equilibrium, right? And then I have a characteristic of dynamic equilibrium. Number one is reaction are continuing in the opposite direction. The number two characteristic is occur in close spaced temperatures and pressure remains. And the number three is reaction and the product are the same rate, like the characteristic of chemical equilibrium. And then the last one is the symbol of equilibrium in chemical reaction is inequality or can go and back forth again, like the characteristic of chemical and equilibrium. As well as we know that the characteristic of dynamic equilibrium and the chemical equilibrium are same, well, we can conclude that if we're talking about dynamic equilibrium, we also means like talking about chemical equilibrium because two of them are the same thing. In finished or finally, until finally, we definitely want to know what is use of us geologists learning chemical equilibrium, right? Okay, I have two information right now. So that become important of us to study chemical equilibrium is number one. When we study geology, we indirectly learn the content of elements and solution of rocks. And the number two is make us easier for us to know the elements of or in the rock. Finally, it's finished, and then I want to say thank you for your attention to watch this video, and then thank you. That's all about my presentation about the theory of chemical equilibrium. I wish this presentation will be using for you, for everyone that watch this video, and I'm so sorry if I have word that salah. I want to say thank you and then goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.